Hello everyone, my name is Dawn Marie Boucher. For a few weeks now, you have been receiving information from me about breakthroughs at the beach spa retreat for women coming January 28th to 31st. Ladies, the reason I am sending this video to you is that I would like to make a more personal connection with you. I'm asking you to pause for a few moments and give this life-transforming event careful consideration. As women, we have been well conditioned to care for and nurture everyone but ourselves. It took me many years to learn to make nurturing myself a priority. This happened when I learned to love myself and live from a state of wholeness. When you are whole and complete at your core, living from your essence, everything else falls into place. This is what this retreat is about. It is also about you. Pampering you while the conditioning, blocks, traumas, who cares what they're called, are eliminated for good from your being. Now take a moment to be honest. Put your fears aside and ask yourself, are you living the life you've always wanted or dare to dream about? Even if you've achieved considerable success, you may be experiencing anxiety, depression, fear, anger, fatigue, weight problems, sleep disorders, grief, guilt, low self-esteem, post-traumatic stress symptoms, ADHD-like symptoms, poor concentration, isolation and intimacy issues. Need I say more? I'd like to paint for you a picture of my life before and after discovering these incredible techniques for self-transformation you'll be learning at the retreat and developed by Tom Stone, CEO and founder of Great Life Technologies. Since I was very young, there was always a sense that something was missing. Some would call it a hole in the soul. I know now it was the disconnect from my essence or true self or innermost being. This is a universal experience perpetuated by pre-verbal conditioning and trauma, which is anything big or small, dramatic or mundane that stops you from having a satisfying, joyful, connected life and feeling good all the time. I felt like I was in a prison and was deeply frustrated with not being able to live my life fully self-expressed. What was wrong with me? I was raised in a middle-class Christian home with loving parents. Later in life, I had an awesome, loving husband and 4 beautiful daughters. But I still felt like, when was I ever going to get a life? Childhood trauma and conditioning left me shut down emotionally. Living victimhood. Anxiety was through the roof, and I had a strong sense of self-contempt. In spite of many years of therapy and reading and applying reams of self-help books, my life was still marked by confusion, depression, being judgmental, avoiding the present, a deep sense of unworthiness. I looked for love everywhere outside of myself. My relationships were based on dependency. I felt like I would not be complete until I found the missing part of myself. Anxiety and fear, particularly regarding money, but in all areas of my life, were so intense I felt I had to force outcomes. I felt very separate from others and everything. Life was a struggle. Being raised in a fundamental home, I lived my life through a narrow perspective. There wasn't much room for others. I was my perspective. By the time I was middle-aged, my nerves were shot, and it was obvious to others. Focus and concentration were so poor, I thought I was losing my marbles. At the time, I did not know I was displaying ADHD-like symptoms. Even this would be resolved through Tom Stone's work. A friend introduced me to the work of Tom Stone, and I knew at last I hit the jackpot. I had been looking for the technique or method or way that would completely, permanently eliminate and free myself and others from their deepest core issues that inhibits them from discovering who they truly are and the life they desire to live in their heart of hearts, but perhaps had forgotten, or no longer believed possible. Immediately, and each and every time I applied these techniques to myself, I experienced breakthroughs and recognizable results. Deeply seated conditioning and trauma, some of which I was not consciously aware, simply vanished for good. What I understand now is that what we label PTSD and ADHD symptoms, and so much more, were simply eliminated. So what happens when all this stuff is removed from you? You get to experience your essence and live in what Tom Stone calls pure awareness more and more. Esther and Jerry Hicks of Abraham and Hicks would describe it as the broader perspective. The reason I adhere to Tom Stone's techniques is that they are the most simple, rapid, comprehensive way that there is to clean up your inner landscape and then remember or become consciously aware of your essence. As I discovered, there was no need for affirmations, changing your thoughts, behaviors, beliefs, as these all happen automatically. In the beginning, the task of transformation appeared daunting, but this transformation occurred much more rapidly than I thought possible. Now all things are possible, and this is my life. I always trust and act on my intuition and am true to myself. I feel a deep capacity for intimacy and at the same time am totally independent and self-sufficient. I have no worries about the past or future and see perfection in everything. I enjoy the wonder and uncertainty of perpetual change. I experience emotions fully, but do not get lost to the grip of emotions. Also, I experience life as frictionless, like I'm continuously in the zone. Things happen as if by magic in ways that I could never have imagined, and at the same time, everything feels natural and perfect. Life is a joy. Remember that prison I mentioned? Now I feel completely free, something I longed for all my life. The benefits I'm experiencing are unlimited, but let me begin to wrap up in this way. I've become a part of a process that gets easier the higher I go. Think about it. In so-called real life, we have to work harder and get further up the success ladder. More money, more freedom, and more power takes work, right? With these techniques, the process is exactly the opposite. It's like climbing onto an upward spiraling escalator. Let me leave you with this powerful closing thought. Success is being permanent pure awareness, or essence, or broader perspective, and consequently, from the fullness of your being and the fullness of self-expression, you feel good all the time and attract that which is like unto yourself. So ladies, this is the life I invite you to begin to experience at this Breakthroughs at the Beach Spa Retreat, being co-facilitated by myself and my good friend and associate, Jeannie Penland. For those of you receiving this information for the first time, I can be reached through Facebook, and I will show you my contact information once more.